Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz on January 23, 2019, 8:47 p.m. in Birmingham. And topic, man, I just got a messenger from someone, and what he did was copy down someone who's really freaked out because they're going after Trump with a coup, just like Castro did with Cuba in the 50s or early 60s. They're going after Trump in the same manner, except they're going to take him out. Guys, remember first how Trump got where he is. How do you think he got where he is? And keep in mind, of all the cheating, all the stealing, all the lying, and all of the vote tampering, all the things the left in the underbelly, I'm talking about the establishment, all they did, Hillary should have won by 100 million votes. She should have won. But you know what? This isn't about Hillary. This is all about what's good for the United States, and Hillary was not part of it. God pre-planned a long time ago who he was going to put in. And he did that by setting up Donald Trump. He set him up for this time. He brought him up for this time. Trump didn't know it until after he became president, and he learned it. And he now knows, look, if he didn't, why would he hang around, really? If he's about to get killed in a coup by the establishment, by all those renegades out there, don't you think he would leave? It'd be so easy to take your money and go. Anybody in their right mind would take their money and leave. Except someone propped up by God and said, look, you need to do me a favor. And that's exactly what Donald Trump's doing. He is doing just what God wants him to do. And I think the whole thing is going to boil down to one thing, is to reverse Roe versus Wade. That is the main theme for all that's happening for Donald Trump. This is his goal. He's aiming for that. He's going to put Roe versus Wade on the books. The Supreme Court will. They voted it down recently. But now it seems like we're missing a member of the Supreme Court. And unless she shows up to vote, then there won't be a turnover. There'll be a vote to put it back on the books. And who is going to be the attorney for all the unborn? Well, God is. That's where this is headed. But until then, God is going to protect this nation through this president that he empowered a very long time ago. Clements, back in 2007, he said it. He said there will be a Trump. He didn't say Donald Trump. He didn't know. But he said there'll be a Trump. I see gold. And I see him yelling, impeach, impeach. Well, Trump is related to gold. It's everything in his name, in all his jets and all his helicopters, everything has inlaid gold in the Trump. But Clements was seeing that, but he didn't know what it was. So God set Donald Trump up for this day. And if the underbelly of the evil empire that's in the hidden world here in our country couldn't win an election that they stole by millions of votes, then what makes you think that a coup could win today? They can't. The only thing that we are required of in this whole thing, you pray for our president. That's it. You pray for our president. And I'm not good at names in biblical terms. If I don't have it laid out in front of me, I'll forget a name. But I do remember two guys. There was a man, I'll call him Joseph for giving him a name, and his servant were being tracked by an army to kill them because Joseph had been given details of their movement the whole time by an angel, by a servant of God. So Joseph always knew in advance where to move. And the kings over there said, how in the hell do they know so much? Who is giving them all this information? Made them mad, so they sent out the army to go ahead and kill them. Well, when the manservant or the servant came out of the tent that morning, he saw this army of over 200,000 circling this tiny tent, tiny two-man tent. He screams, Joseph, get out here. We're fixing to get killed. Joseph took his time walking out and looked around and said, yep, got some coffee? And the guy's freaking out, what are you doing? They're about to kill us. He said, God, open his eyes. When God opened his eyes, then he saw that 200,000 man army outnumbered by giants in full battle armor, ready to fight the first man that moved a foot. And the thing was, the armies saw the giants, the angels, those who are ready to battle, and they were terrified. They wasn't about to attack little Joseph down here. So that's what the man servant saw. That's what God showed him. Now, I'm asking you, if we were told in 2007 and in 2011 by two people, and more than that, but by these two, that Trump would be president and he would serve 2 terms, why would you think otherwise? If Trump became president after all efforts to steal an election by millions of votes, like he said, oh, it should be 1,000,000 to 1 or 100,000,000 to 1. If that was the case, why didn't it happen? Well, it didn't happen because God had other plans. Look, Donald Trump's brought up for this time. It'd be so easy for him to pack it up, take his money, and go. That'd be it. It'd be over. That's not God's plan. Just as Benjamin Netanyahu is in Israel, the prime minister, by God's design. God put him in once and said, if you give away an inch of land, I'll take you out. He gave away some land and God took him out. And God came back to him later and said, if you want to try it again and not give away land, I'll put you back in. He made that promise. And he is prime minister because of that today. He is protected by God. Trump is protected by God. And all those who stand with Trump are protected by God. And that is you and I. Guys, get it in your head. We've already won. Nothing can take away what God put in place without God's permission, and he's not going to give it. Jody Wolf, Expoz.